What does it take to get to the Olympics? I mean, apart from the obvious of pure dedication and hard work and talent and pushing through injuries and years of training and practice, there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that goes on in making an Olympic team and the things an athlete needs to go right and the things that go wrong and the differences. One of the things that really comes to mind when it comes to how athletes make the Olympics is athletes need to focus on themselves 100% of the time, and they need people in their environment to understand that. And the athletes also, while focusing on themselves, they need to go through struggles on themselves. They can't be babied. They can't be taken care of all the time. There's going to be a time and place where they're not going to have somebody to help them fight a match, or they're not going to have somebody there to coddle them at a training camp. You know, for judo, like when you're injured and you're hurt, you're the only one on the mat that can like make that decision to stand up and push through it and fight on and find a way to win a fight. And that ability and having that talent and that grit to push through and find a way to win, when people see that, people are willing to help and support. And what athletes who are coming up need to understand is that ability to push yourself and push that tempo and push through and find a way to succeed. People see that and people recognize that, and people will be there to support your dream and what you're doing based on your performance and your enthusiasm and your dedication to the art. Without that, you're always going to fall short, because there's going to be somebody in your life who could have helped you, and they're not going to feel that passion and that dedication and that fire coming from you if you don't display it day in and day out. And if you don't display it day in and day out, you're not going to be training at the level you need to make the games, and you deserve to fall short. A lot of athletes fall short, and a lot of athletes complain that they didn't have the funding or they didn't have the support. And that's only because the people who are in control of the support, and we're not talking about organizations, we're talking about parents, aunts, uncles, the millionaire who lives down the road, the local gas station or grocery store that could help you, the local mom and pop shop. We're talking about other people than the organization. They don't feel it. They don't see it. They don't get inspired by your story and who you are and what you're trying to achieve. And, you know, I got my first big support sponsorship when I was younger because I worked a job from 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. roofing houses, and then I would go from 5 p.m. to the YMCA. I would lift weights, I would help out with the kids' class, and I would train at night, and I'd go home at 10 p.m. I would eat dinner, and I'd wake up at 5 a.m., and I would do it 5 days a week. And then on the weekends, I would find a way to get gas money to drive up to different training places. On Sundays, I would go to different training places. And you know what? The millionaire who just happened to be at the club was willing to support me going to the events. He didn't pay me anything, but he covered my airfare, he covered my hotel, and when he could only cover my airfare, I slept at the hotel floors of people that I just tried to get in contact with. One time, and this ranged true to just the community helping you out, was I flew to a competition where I couldn't afford the hotel because my sponsor could only pay for the airfare, and a family saw me, you know, sleeping on the lobby bench behind a Christmas tree in November. And they said, "Hey, do you have a place to stay?" And I said, "No, I'm just here to fight the event. I'm just gonna, you know, kind of pull an all-nighter until tomorrow." They took me to their house. They fed me dinner. They let me sleep. They took me to the event the next day, and they even took me to the airport. And I still speak to them today. But if it's not for, you know, those people seeing your passion and your dedication to do certain things, to make it, to achieve your goal, the community and the people that you want to support you won't support you. And you have to have that drive and that grit to get through it. That's what it truly takes to get through it. It's not talent, it's hard work, it's dedication, it's putting that thing before everything else in your life. If you want your parents to support you going to to the nationals, to the U.S. Open, to that international camp, and it comes time to need $4,000 or $5,000 to get it done, they'll do it if they've seen you put the time. If they know you're setting your alarm clock to wake up at 5 a.m., to be running by 5:30, to be home at 6:30, to be in school by 7, to pass your grades, to run in the afternoon, to go to judo at night, to get your homework done before bedtime. If they see that, they'll make the sacrifices to get you to where you need to go. And if not, somebody somewhere will.